Collective, and I would like to say welcome. So today we're just going to be discussing what is it that you need to know right now, and there's a lot of past energies that has been coming up. So this message is really going to be centered out. If you haven't fully energetically closed out some cycles, maybe you need to do a cord attachment. Maybe you need to fast, detox, or maybe you just need to accept that something is officially closed so that you can close it out and bring in your manifestation. You don't want to continuously repeat lessons that you don't have to repeat. But there's someone from the past that has literally been attacking the collective. So, of course, overall, I'll do the 5-card spread. What is your energy? And then we'll get into what is the energies around you. What is it that you need to know when it comes to alchemizing and or transmuting any energy, which is what's mostly important. You know your energy. You sit with yourself as much as possible. And if you aren't sitting with yourself, you need to start doing so. Being mindful of whatever it is that you're holding on to, thinking about, especially in the present moment. What is it that you keep lingering about that has you looping back in a mental state or an emotional state? So 5-card spread, center being your overall energy, north being the mind. 2 of Pentacles, this is about balance, this is about reciprocity. This is about taking actions on things, duality, understanding that there's 2 sides to everything, even like when you flip a coin. But there's 3 sides to the story, yours, theirs, and the truth. The north, you have the mind. The 8 of Swords, let's see. Mentally, still feeling as though something, it's like, that's what I'm saying, something is still attached to you. Well, this is going to clarify that. Well, no, I'll put it back. I'm going to just put all the cards and then we'll clarify them. East being emotions, the emotional plane, the Ace of Pentacles. West being the material plane, King of Wands. And South being your actions, your passions, and your desires. And you have the Knight of Pentacles. So there's a major balance going on. You have Pentacles here in 3 of your planes. So this is something in the 3D that you could be working on when it comes to your overall stability, your foundation. So mentally, you're clearing out something that doesn't serve you, whether this is someone from the past that maybe have projected something onto you and was hoping that you would stay into this mental prison. But unfortunately, for their sake, fortunately, you are getting out of this. And unfortunately, maybe if someone did project something onto you, well, they're going to have to actually deal with that karma. That's just the balance of things. Now, when it comes to the emotional plane, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So it's something that there is something that you're trying to work towards moving forward to. It just needs you to have the courage to keep moving forward, which is where you get into the West plane, which is having that King of Wands energy. This is about having the courage, the leadership, and being just that individual that's going to step forth to do so. So in the material plane, whatever you're working on is asking you to just continuously push forward and show up for whatever this is. With the passions and desires being the Knight of Pentacles, it is slow moving energy. So it does need you to just pour into this. It is not going to come. This isn't any overnight success. This is actively pouring into it one day, 1 week, this is what this is. You have the Ace and the 2 of Pentacles. These are the beginning phases of a lot of things. So you're in the beginning phases of something again. And so it's like maybe a few doubts creep in. Maybe you're like, man, it didn't work out the last time you tried something. But this isn't about the last time. What did you learn from that? What did you experience? So get out of the overthinking when it comes to something and just actually just start on something. You are showing very responsible energy at this time. You are being the individual to step outside of the box. And the moon, this is where it's like you understand that you are doing something that maybe people around you have not done. So it's going to look different. It does look like you're not actually making any progress when you're in the beginning phases of something. And even when you are in the beginning phases still, maybe you don't have that support, whether it's from people around you, whether even if it's yourself. Sometimes it just, when spirit grants you to do something, maybe you don't know, like, am I really making the right decision? Well, if genuinely things seems like they are hard for you, And it seems like you don't understand how to keep getting over these obstacles that let you know that you're in it, that you're actively doing it. Every time you are hit with something, that lets you know that you'll know completely if something is genuinely a no, a flat out no, because there will be confusion. But if there is no type of confusion, you just have some fear or some type of doubt, then that lets you know, okay, I am on the right path. It's just that this is uncharted territory for me, and I'm going to have to force myself to get used to this. And that could be anything. So that is your energy. The moon's at the bottom, so there are things that are still coming to the surface overall, but we didn't have any majors come out. So that means that these are day-to-day actions. These are going to be weekly actions. That is one thing also when it comes to when reading these cards. When you have a lot of minors, this lets you know that these are just things that are actively, presently going on in your circle, in your day-to-day life. Versus major arcana, these are things that has happened over a long period of time, and then one day it's going to click for you. So that is what you have for yourself. And what is the energy around you? Let's see. What is this going on around us, collective? What's going on around the collective? I'm gonna put these nails on. You have the King of Cups, water sign. You could be a Scorpio out here. So support yourself before you can support others. Around you, there may be some selfishness going on, but not in a negative way. It's just understanding that you have to have that balance. The King of Cups is very emotionally balanced, so you need to make sure that you are actually maybe conserving your energy when it comes to things. Not if it gets you out of, if it's going to have you disrupting your nervous system in the point where it's not actually assisting you, like it's not something for your growth or development, I don't need you to be doing that. Get up out of that. Yeah, you get the Nine of Wands that comes in the reverse here. That's what I'm saying. Somebody wants you more defensive, on the edge, anxiousness around you. That's too many. Why is the Nine of Wands in reverse here? Because that's the complete opposite of the King of Cups. The Nine of Wands. Why is the 9 here? Oh, wait, the 10 comes out in the reverse. All right, so there is people out here lying. Who are these individuals? What's going on? What's going on around here? There's a lot of drama around you, I could say. And maybe you're coming off as this is not affecting you. What is this about? The Lovers. Lovers. Judgment. Mad. So there's some judgment, okay? So, more Scorpio energy, Gemini. We're in Gemini season, aren't we? Okay, so somebody from the past has been trying to delay something from moving forward by doing some type of spell work on someone's, maybe on your actual your forward movement, but with judgment here, that's not gonna work. So somebody has passed the test when it came to someone from the past. Let's see, you get the Ace of Cups with the 5 of Wands. So yeah, you done overcame some type of spell work that someone has been trying to attach. Like someone's been trying to attach something to you, but you didn't stoop to that level. So a past lover, this ain't gonna resonate from anybody because it could be family as well, wanted you in a certain frequency and or vibration to, you know, maybe to get you to attract a certain type of suitor, right? Now, that's what I'm saying. It could be like a past person that was trying to come back, but they're in a lower vibration, and they're just not your, they're actually more jealous of you than anything. So it could have been like a karmic was trying to attach themselves to you to still some type of inheritance in the sense of where your essence, but unfortunately you may triumph them spiritually, and it's just not gonna work. Why is all this competition out here? Who's competing for who? Who's competing for 2 of Wands, forward movement? What is all this competition about? 7 of Swords. Competition on about what you're working on, but you may be doing something in secret. Somebody don't like that you're not. So someone's not. Oh, okay. I get it now. So someone's been out here speaking on you, trying to prove something, like a past lover's trying to prove something about, like, maybe you left them out in the cold. But like I said, it's always 2 sides to a story. And so maybe someone hasn't recovered emotionally from something that has happened, and they have to see you actually have this love with someone. Like, a lot of times karma doesn't look the way people think it's going to be. Karma could be someone having to witness you get married to somebody and actually have that loving family. Actually have somebody to support you emotionally. Majority of the time, Page of Cups. So whoever this King of Cups has been sending to spy on you, there has been a Page of Cups that's been working with a King of Cups. So what we got out here? We have Aries, Leo, Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius, fire signs and water signs. Aren't there? When those 2 balance each other out. When those 2, let me get one more. And look who comes out. The Tower. You have the Tower and Judgment. There's a major closure to something. And this is what's going on around you. So, mind you, if you're in this King of Cups energy, there is a lot of chaotic energy around you energetically. So be mindful of what maybe you're picking up on, what someone could be projecting onto you. Because you don't want to be this King of Cups and be stripped down to this Page of Cups. Now, mind you, it's nothing wrong, because the Page of Cups is the beginning phases of something. Going back within yourself, the Magician. Let's see, what is this about? What is this about? Let's put some words to this. Are they fighting out here? The 10 reverse and the 5 of Wands? They out here fighting with the 7 of Swords? Like, all of this is going on around the collective? Goodness gracious. How can these people sleep at night? What we got here? What we got here? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Clinging, holding on, spying, obsessing. They ain't got enough time in a day if you want to give somebody that much energy. Distracted, sidetracked, changes, finality, farewells, leaving behind closure. And that's what I'm saying. Someone's trying to attach something to somebody. Give me one more. Exhaustion, depleted, long journey, and then releasing at the bottom. So, whoever was speaking on you, maybe when it comes to like an actual love, or what it is you do for work, it's something that you actively pour into who you are. Someone's been like, that's not who she is. But unfortunately, every time somebody keeps spying or looking up something, that's exactly who you are. And they did maybe something was hidden from somebody with this Tower, And now they're being forced to see you actually for who you are, only because of the simple fact that that's just, they were in a lower vibration, and maybe you were too. And so they didn't get that side of you, and someone's actually getting that loving, caring, compassionate side. Hey, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. For example, if you grew up around individuals that literally had your nervous system indirect, and I can only speak for like myself. For example, I grew up in not the best type of neighborhoods and not the best environments. And as I aged, that was the last thing I was finna date. I'm not finna go back and forth with nobody. Not in no type of ship, no friendship, relationship, a job ship, whatever the case may be. The minute you dysregulate my nervous system, the minute I feel any type of exhaustion and I am not completing something that I know the Most High told me to do, I get the fuck away immediately. Exit stage left. The reason a lot of people, and I can only attest for myself, is I get the shit that I want in life is because when I realize that something does not serve me anymore, I let that shit go. I do not attach myself to anything. So a lot of you need to start practicing the art of detachment. And that comes from everything across all boards. I can only speak from things that I've experienced, which would be the tower for me. When you lose your parents at a young age, I don't give a fuck about nobody on the face of this earth. So me having to open my heart back up to even care enough for people has been something that I have been going through and learning myself. But because I had to learn that and I had to detach and I had to grow the fuck up because that was just my reality, when people project certain things onto me, it means absolutely nothing to me because I understand that you are unhealed in some parts. Because the last thing I would ever do is have any type of jealousy, envy, or hate in my heart for anybody because I don't give a fuck enough. I don't care enough to do that. Like, if I said I wanted to have the most enjoyable life, and I ask myself, what does that look like for me? And that means I have a picket fence and a farm, and I just go out and I try to obtain that. You, with your material possessions, with your accolades, and who you dating is never going to faze me, and I'm not even going to be looking in your direction. And you being distracted by something has literally closed out a cycle for you. Now, with this exhaustion, I'm picking up on the fact that maybe you have been going through so much spiritual attacks and so many things that you have been overcoming to put you back on track. That has pissed some people off from the past, and they're looking to see, but yet you still come back out in this loving and in this compassionate energy. Like, dang, so-and-so is not giving up on self. You're not. The tower comes. Those are those realization checks that a lot of us have. And a lot of people are being hit with that as well. Like, damn, so-and-so is not coming back. There was no type of actual communication. This is like all blocked off and all closed out. So maybe someone's out here saying like, dang, you never even cared about me. Maybe you didn't, but they actually didn't give you an opportunity to care. I say that because everybody is a mirror to you. So with this lovers here, if somebody came to you with bad intentions or they really thought that they was going to play in your face, well, you love sports. So now it's a game. Cool. Round 1, fight. So a lot of times people don't be knowing that you be people karma in life. And karma don't look the way people think. They be thinking that, oh, they finna play in somebody's face. Well, you can play in some people's face because they love themselves and they know what peace feels like within. They walk away. They don't lose no sleep. They keep it moving. Yeah, you're gonna feel some emotions. You're gonna feel it. And when you allow yourself to rest and to actually accept whatever the situation is, you feel it, you go on about your day. You heal that part of you. So no, you will never have to come in contact with those type of people ever again. Only because of the simple fact that you love yourself enough to know the minute somebody try to play in your face and you gonna ask yourself, okay, I've actually felt this before. I know what it's like for people to play in my face. You're not gonna keep doing that over here. I don't want to play games this season. Right now I'm delegating tasks. So if you're not in the mood to be sat down and be a student, then I'm not the person for you. And I'm not saying that to you in direct, but I'm just saying everybody, for example, like I seen Kai Cenat's doing another streamer university, and there were so many people, or people been quitting their jobs or spending their last to, go and do that. And I seen somebody comment on one of the posts, and they was like, if everybody's the streamer, who's going to be the viewers? Mind you, I never even watched the first season. Heard about it, But I couldn't tell you whatever they do on that. And in my opinion, if you already have a platform and you're somebody, I feel like, yeah, that would be a way to grow your audience in a sense. But if you're just starting out, like that beginning, that Knight of Pentacles when it came to something, if you're in the beginning phases of something, don't expect something to pop off to where you have that 1,000,000 views in one day. I'm not saying it can't happen, but the reality of things, and depending on what you speak about or what you talk about, baby, it's going to be more and more work. For example, even the things that I talk about, I can pull energy on who's cheating on who and who, but I genuinely don't want to do that. That's not my assignment. I'm not going to pull in the energy of anybody because I don't want to have to do the cleansing on that. We just did what's going on around you for your awareness, in a sense. There are a lot of people being judged right now. There are a lot of people actually being forced. So when you're forced to go through the tower and or the death or judgment, those are uncomfortable for people who don't do who don't do shadow work and who don't hold themselves accountable. So be mindful of the individuals who are around you, because for some of you, if you are people karma, you could be just that, in a sense of where it's like saying you go to a new job and your manager, they've been there 6 years, they immediately get fired. You've been there 1 week and you looking around like, what the fuck? There's a new policy put in place the same week. They have 2 audits coming in that same week. Now you ask them like, were these auditors coming? They was like, no, they was gonna show up this week. And now you and like, what the fuck's going on around this place? You are that karma for that place. You are there to set the scales to do that. And that also goes when you get in relationships and friendships. And because I know that I am that tower moment for a lot of people, for people who don't do that. And so I tell people to tread lightly when you come in my life, because you'll come around me and shit just be fumbling because of the simple fact of what I do. So it's like, you will come over here and you'll be like, why am I being forced to figure out who the fuck I am in life? Well, because you're around somebody that actually does that work. And so it's like, you can't mirror the fake. You can't come over here without actually doing that work. And so like when people be fake acting like they woke, or fake acting like they do shadow work, when they're being forced to go through this shit, that's when you gonna see. That's when you gonna see it. They really do that work. And so doing this shit is fucking exhausting. I can tell you that, but to know that like at the end of your journey, to say that you showed up for exactly who and what you wanted to be in this lifetime is what matters. And that's the only thing that you can carry around here. So release the weight of the shit that you've been carrying that don't matter. Because the 10 in reverse, maybe in the sense of where it's like you have not been responsible when it comes to showing up for something. But it's like Spirit said, okay, I'm going to let you get through whatever that is you got going on. Because we have free will to do anything in life. And because we had that, cool. But then sometimes it's like, well, you keep doing shit that you know, and sometimes you don't know. That could be that naivety that you have, which is why you always be protected out here. And so Spirit is like, all right, now, I'm just going to have to assist you because you're not doing it right. You need some help. And so you're getting these new opportunities, this new love, this new fulfillment, like things new for you are coming in. But you are releasing a lot. So, and there's a lot that's going on around you. So be mindful of that. Laugh at that shit. Let it be entertainment, because I see this as entertainment right now. But that is the quick message I have for you guys. It is Sunday. It's actually Father's Day, so if you are a father actively in your child's life, if not, but celebrate that. Mine is on the other side, so hey, he wouldn't shit when he was on this side, so it means absolutely nothing to me. And it's also the first day of summer, so with you knowing that this is the beginning phases of something, now it is time to make sure you are moving a lot and hydrating. Hydration is important. I have a 4-word saying when it comes to my hydration on all boards. Eat, sleep, move. Hydrate. Or hydrate, eat, sleep, move. Those are the 4 words. Hydration is more than just drinking water. You need to hydrate mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, socially, whatever the case may be. And then you have to fuel that, which is eating. Look at all parts of you. What parts of those need? How you fuel that? How do you fuel your mental? How do you fuel your spiritual, your financial, whatever the case may be? And then you're going to have to move that. How do you move mentally? How do you connect to yourself emotionally? Whatever the case may be. And then sleep, resting, replenishing, all of that. How do you rest for yourself mentally? It is all parts. They're actually, speaking on that, I have a podcast episode on Spotify. I'll link it in the description below. on the 7 types of rest, because it is more than one and they are all important during all seasons in life. So maybe you need to rest when it comes to one of them, see the growth and the change that you have actually created for yourself. But yeah, quick little message. Just wanted to come show my face. And I will see y'all in the next one.